Oh, good morning, everyone. Here we are on January the 9th. It's a Tuesday. It's a beautiful sunny day out, and it's a temperature of 0 degrees. Wow. It's pretty good compared to what we've been going through. And I see snow out there melting. Too bad it's going to be actually the next couple of days. I think Thursday and Friday is supposed to be like 5 degrees each day, but the weekend temperatures are going down. So here we are still in Job, and specifically I want to look at Job 21 today. And Job is presenting something that I've heard so many times from so many people. The seemingly injustice of it all, where the wicked get to prosper and the righteous seem to suffer. And Job says, "Why do the wicked live, grow old, and even become strong? Their children are always with them, their offspring in their sight, their houses safe from dread. God's punishing stick not upon them. Their bull always breeds successfully, the cows give birth and never miscarry. They send forth their little ones like sheep, their infants bounce around. They raise drum and lyre, rejoice at the sound of a flute. They spend their days contently, go down to the grave peacefully." That's what it appears like. And sometimes it can be a hard thing for us to understand. But the word also tells us that God sends the rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. He sends blessings. He sends the bad things that happen in this world are a result of a fallen world. And it's not that the wicked prosper more. It's just that when you're a person with Christ and you have certain expectations, and you look around and you see all these people who are without Christ. But see, there's a number of things that we don't understand. First of all, we're here to be able to set an example of joy in all situations. That Christ is with us in all situations, and the light shines brightest in the darkness. And Paul said, that he discovered that Jesus told him that in weakness his strength is revealed. And Paul said, "In that case, let me be weak all the time." Um, there's this fallacy that our life is supposed to be perfect and wonderful, and he doesn't always lead us that way. And like Job, he looks at us and he looks at our heart, and he knows he can trust us in our relationship with him. And so he will choose some of us to walk through certain valleys and experience certain things. It's for our development, but it's also a witness to the world. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's seasons. As Paul said, he knew at times what it was to have plenty, and other times to be in want, to have need. These are seasons we move through, and he equips us for each season. And in those seasons where Job was experiencing, we experience a closeness, or we can experience a closeness when we draw into God. If we go over a couple of chapters, we find Job's problem here, and it's down in verse 8. And it's a contrast to Psalm 139. And it says, "Look, I go east, he's not there, west, and don't discover him, north in his activity, and I don't grasp him. He turns south, and I don't see him." This is compared to the Psalm 139 that says, "If I go up to the mountains, he is there. If I go into the depths, into the deeps, he's there. He's there ahead of me. If I go to the far side of the sea, he's there." So Job's problem here is that he's allowed his difficulties to block his awareness to God, his sensitivity to God. And this is what we have to be careful of. Pain can separate us if we allow it. Suffering, difficulties, trials can separate us if we allow it. The thing is that we always have to press in. Jesus is the answer in every situation. We have to press in. Father wants us abiding with him as he abides with us. We have to press in all the time. We have to press in. Job says here that he doesn't understand it because the wicked reject God. He says they say to God, turn away from us. We take no pleasure in knowing your ways. Who is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what can we gain if we meet him? But Job is demonstrating this in a lot of the things that he's saying. He's caught up in this whole thing that he's innocent. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's not willing to see anything else. He's tunnel vision so that he can't see God. He can't see what God's doing, what God's intentions are. If Job had realized that God was glorifying himself through him because he trusted Job's heart, then Job's attitude might have been different. But he missed that whole point. And so we find a lot of complaining, well, rightfully against his friends, but a lot of complaining against God. So we have to be careful in this. And those of us who are going through this season of fasting, this is a good lesson here. This is what it's coming across to me in a mighty way, is the pressing through, the trusting him, even in those moments where we can't sense him, that trusting that he is with us because he promised to always be with us, and relying on that and calling on him and turning to him and seeking him and seeking his face more and pushing in, because that's what a fast is really about, especially a long fast. Shorter fasts, not so much, but the longer fast, the longer you go with it, the more you have to push, and the whole thing is to see him, to know him, to love him, to know more of him, to gain greater knowledge of him. So I just want to encourage you, especially in the coming age, as we know from Revelation that things are going to get tough, that we have to gain the strength. We have to be able to do this. We can't be a Job. We can't lose sight of God just because of trials that we're going through. We have to press in and press in. So I encourage you to press in because you're going to discover a lot of stuff. And don't forget, today you are the light. You are the light. The world needs to see that. The light is in you by the Holy Spirit. The light is in you. The power is in you to influence people just by living your character. Just by living your character. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you belong to. Don't forget you are a child of God. Don't forget you have been commissioned, you have been chosen, and you're put into position, and you are filled with that power, and you are able to do everything because of who is in you. So you'll be blessed today, be used, glorify God in all the ways. God bless.